Now the first thing that we're going to start with is forming the fist. Now for most of you this should be self-explanatory, but there are a few things to watch out for. First, make sure that the fingers are curled into the palm nice and tight. Then place your thumb along the fingers as shown here. Make sure you don't extend your thumb on the top of your index finger. That's a good way to get it broken. Don't put your thumb inside of your fingers. That's another good way to get it broken. Now some styles will place the thumb on top of the index finger pressing down. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now for your basic stance, you want your feet about shoulder width apart and lengthwise about 1.5 shoulder widths. Now your lead hand should be at chin level or a little higher. That way it's ready in case you need it for blocking. And your rear hand should be lightly resting on your cheek to protect your face. To begin the punch, you want to extend the arm, rotating it slightly so that your palm ends up facing the floor. Then bring it back to your ready position. Here's a side view of the basic stance. It should be about 1.5 times shoulder width. Your rear foot should be up on the toes. This allows for greater maneuverability and better extension and power when you spring forward. Number 3. Now remember to keep the hand, arms, and shoulders relaxed. The more tense you are, the slower your punch is going to be. You want to stay relaxed as you shoot the punch out there, and then at the last second, you tense up just before you make contact. Now this is something that a lot of beginners struggle with because they think that in order to throw a strong, powerful punch, they have to be tense. Nothing could be further from the truth. You have to be relaxed. You are relaxed when throwing your punch and only tense up at the last second. If your arm is tense during the entire punch, you will vastly decrease your speed and power. If you need an example, watch your favorite boxer or MMA star and watch how relaxed they look in the ring. For number 5, we touch on what not to do. Now when throwing the jab, remember to keep the hand, wrist, and forearm straight in one line. Don't bend the wrist or the fist upward to where you would be hitting with the second joint of the fingers. This way you can damage your fingers and, more than likely, damage or sprain your wrist also. You also want to throw your punch straight out from where the hand is. Don't pull it back and take a wind-up. This will not only telegraph your punch, making it easier to block or counter, but it also slows it down. Number 6, don't swat at the target. Meaning when you punch out, don't strike out in a curved downward fashion, as in an arcing motion. Make sure that the punch goes straight out and straight back. Now a mirror is a good way to check this. Simply stand in front of a mirror and extend your arm, throwing your jab out and then bringing it back. Check your position. Make sure your punch is coming straight out and straight back. Make sure that your other hand is resting on your cheek to cover. Now this should go without saying, but when standing in front of the mirror, make sure that you are back far enough that you don't accidentally punch the mirror and break it. Now standing in front of this bob dummy, you can see the difference between a direct impact strike and a glancing blow from swatting at it. Number 7 is our push step. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on the footwork, because we will cover a lot of this in a later video. Now it's called a push step because you push off with the rear leg. You lift your lead foot and push with the back foot, propelling the body forward. This is different from the step and slide, where you step forward and then drag your rear foot behind. The push step is a more explosive stepping. Now, it's not real easy to see. It's something you have to feel and experience for yourself. But if you notice, as I step forward, my back leg pushes off, and you see a little hopping movement where my back foot comes off the ground. With a step and slide, the rear foot would just drag across the floor, maintaining contact. Number 8, working with a partner. Now, the best way to get power into your punch is working with a partner. Have a friend, get some pads, move around, and practice your punches. Now, don't worry, if you don't have anyone to train with, we're going to show you some alternatives.